Hello, hockey, basketball, and soccer fans. My name is David, and thought I would start this video shortly after 10 on the morning of Friday, 18th of October 2024, North American Eastern Daylight Time. So that's, well, no, it's now 10:02. It's 2:02 p.m. GMT. So what I'm going to do is go through various games that have been taking place following from last week's Saturday EDT to those that ended early Friday EDT. So, to start off, well, at least with respect to Canada's NBA and NHL teams, so I'm going to just do a brief rundown for the Raptors. We'll cover them already. So, what to do is the Raptors have only one preseason game left. More on that in one or more subsequent videos. So, basically, so far the Raptors have a mixed record. 2 wins, 2 losses, all of which have occurred in regulation. So if the Raptors had been an NHL team, they would have earned, 4 out of a possible 8 points in preseason play. But the NBA does not use point percentages, whatever, and there are no shootouts in the NBA. So yeah, overall it's been a mixed bag. 125-98 win over the Wizards at the Bell Center, home of the Habs. 2 weekends ago on Sunday EDT. Then last week, Friday EDT, it was a 113-95 loss. And then a couple close games with the Celtics, 115-111 loss at TD Garden, also the home of the NHL's Boston Bruins. And then back at Scotiabank Arena, 119-118 win on Tuesday EDT. So yes, very close. 2 of the games have been close. I mean, is that encouraging? Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I mean, the Raptors last preseason, put up an incredible 4-0 record, and we all know how the regular season went. Nowhere close to being good, and yeah, that 15-game losing streak didn't help either. So enough on the Raptors. I'm going to go to Canada's NHL teams because they're going to start off with the 12th of October EDT. So yeah, on that, maybe go to Friday a little bit there. So yeah, this start off with a 2-1 OT win by the Winnipeg Jets over the Chicago Blackhawks at Canada Life Center, formerly Bell and MTS Place. That's in Winnipeg in the south of Manitoba. Canucks lost to the Flyers in a shootout, 3-2. Kevin Lankinen having from the first period to OT, having stopped 29 shots from the Flyers. Gonna just briefly recap. Just gonna see. All right, just gonna figure it out here. All right, just gonna load the screen there. Just gonna. All right, so we have Kevin Lankinen having stopped all but 2 of 31 Flyers shots from the first period to overtime. Played 65 minutes. Ditto for Sam Ersson for the Flyers. Well, also stopped 24-26 shots, so both of them with very high save percentages. Kevin Lankinen, 93.5, round to the nearest tenth of a percentage point. Ersson, 92.3. Well, not an indication necessarily of a good season to come for the Flyers, but again, when your goalie gives you a chance to win, you got to pat him on the back, or her on the back. And yes, Professional Women's Hockey League 2024-25 regular season is not yet here, but I definitely look forward to that if I can. Maybe watch some of the PWHL's Toronto team. I mean, but I'll see, because there's so many NHL Canadian teams in action. There'll be not very many games, not very many evenings, not very many days. EDT or Eastern Standard Time will go by between now and mid-April, where a Canadian NHL team isn't in action. How many of the Canadian teams will see playoff action this season? To be determined. But enough of that. So now I'm going to go to games that took place on Saturday EDT, or last weekend Saturday EDT. So yeah, what I'm going to do is the Penguins, and the Leafs home game against the Pens. Well, that was 4-2. Mitch Marner, Matt Nyes, and William Nylander each scored at least 1 goal, with Marner having assisted on another goal. The Habs home game against the Sens, a very good game for the Habs, with Cole Caulfield, Lane Hudson, and Caden Gooley each having put up at least 1 point apiece. Cole Caulfield, aka Goal Caulfield, having scored 2 goals in that 4-1 Habs win over the Sens. In other games on Saturday EDT, have the Flames having beaten the Flyers handily 6-3, having scored 3 goals in the third period. The Oilers having lost another game 5-2 to the Blackhawks with Connor Bedard, ex-Kane, Taro Teravainen, and ex-Duck Corey Perry having each scored. The first 2 from the Blackhawks, the last one for the Oilers. Yeah, Perry scored 1 of the 2 goals. And, well, yeah, that's it for Canadian NHL teams in action on that day, on that Thanksgiving weekend day EDT. So we go to Sunday, and there were 2 games. The Jets ended up beating the Minnesota Wild 2-1 at home in OT. And the Flames having beaten the Oilers handily, 4-1. The Oilers having open scoring, but having done well, really nothing more. The Oilers back then had dropped their first 3 games on the regular season, all in regulation and all by country miles. So that's on the Sunday DT, last Sunday DT. So on the Monday, we have that ugly game between the Kings and Sens. So that's 8-7 in OT. I put out a series of short videos on those. I plan to post as many of them as I can. And then I will, try to go through them all. Again, so obviously it's a lot of games there. So yeah, so that was another game. Serious questions about goaltending for the Ottawa Senators, Cali Kings, but since we're talking about Canadian NHL teams, yeah, serious questions about the Ottawa Senators. I mean, Anton Forsberg and Matt Sjogard, as far as I could count, at least 3 ugly goals apiece. As I could count, when Elias Olmark's not there, do the Sens even win a game? Well, I'm going to move on for the moment. Habs thought they could get their momentum from that weekend win over the Sens. Well, earlier in the weekend, put up a stinker of a game on Monday DT on Amazon Prime Hockey. 6-3 at the Bell Center was a defeat. The Habs having dropped on the regular season to 2-2-0-0 on wins and regulation OT and shootout losses. So yeah, I'm going to flip the calendar to choose EDT. And yeah, Canucks having come out flat 4-1 over the Bolts. 4-1 loss to the Bolts at Amalie Arena. And other games involved, Canadian NHL teams took place on, that started on Tuesday EDT. Flames beat the Blackhawks 3-1 at the Scotiabank Saddledome. Even with 24 saves having been made by Peter Mrazek, a former Leaf goalie who was traded to the Blackhawks in exchange draft picks, the Leafs late first rounder and the Blackhawks early second rounder. Well, thankfully, Mrazek seems to be doing pretty well against the Blackhawks, and that's good for him. It just wasn't a fit for the Leafs. Meanwhile, the Oilers beat the Flyers in OT. It was it was a close one though, and it made me wonder. Well, do these Oilers have the swagger and the confidence to go on a major winning streak? I had my doubts back then, but again, more on how the Oilers would do later on in the week later on this video. So, one game on Wednesday EDT that involved the Canadian NHL team in action, and that was the Leafs' home one against the LA Kings. And it was absolutely dominant. Anthony Stolarz stopped all but 2 shots he faced. He had stand on his head multiple times in that game. 6-2 was the final score. Austin Matthews, originally from California, born in California, but having become a longtime resident of neighboring Arizona, scored, was it there? I forget how many goals he scored. 1 goal. His first goal in non-preseason play since last spring's Leafs Bruins playoff series. So next time Leafs face the LA Kings will be late in March over at Crypto.com Arena the former Staples Center. So all in all, the Tony Stolarz, a former Panthers goalie, stopped all but 2 of 34 shots, save percentage of over slightly over 94. So that is very good news. And have Bob McMahon put up 2 goals. Will Nylander scored a goal. John Tavares scored. So when Morgan Riley put up a goal. So when members of the core, when enough members of the Leafs' so-called core five, well, in other words, Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Morgan Riley, and John Tavares score, it's a good thing. It's not going to be every game, but which means contributions from other players, which is huge. Max Domi assisted on 2 goals. Who am I missing now in terms of yeah. And you're putting up points because again, that's huge. So yeah, shockingly good. Tony Stolarz, Joe Wall's still out due to injury. Who knows how long? Yeah, I mean Joe Wall, not healthy, not reliable. So Stolarz, given how good he's played, and that simply because he was also available, I'd say he's number 1. Will Joe Wall become number 1? Yeah, well, Jen Botterill during Sportsnet intermission coverage, I'm not sure if it was the first or second intermission, claimed that Joe Wall would end up being the number 1 goalie this later on in the regular season. Gotta be skeptical. If Joe Wall's out, how can he be number 1? To be fair, Dennis Hildeby has already played 1 game for the Leafs at the NHL level in the regular season, and he stopped all but 2 shots he faced in that 4-2 win over the New Jersey Devils at the Prudential Center. So yes, is Hildeby a long-term solution in net for the Leafs? Still a long way from being determined. Stolarz that? Well, Stolarz has played more games this regular season, so maybe, you never know. So, overall, very good game. So now I'm going to go to the games that took place on Thursday EDT, and Eastern Canadian teams didn't do all that well. We have the Kings and the Habs and Sens having concluded their games. Both hosts, Sens, beaten by the Devils 3-1 with the Sens record having dropped this regular season to 2-2-0-0, 2-1-0-0 at home. The Habs, having played all but one of their games so far this regular season at home, didn't do all that well. 4-1. There's not really had trouble getting going. They never really did after having tied that game up in the first period. And then it was just all Kings from there. Alright, it's going to go to where are the Kings here. Let's see what the Kings here. So I forget. To see the goals are. Alright, so what I'm going to do is. Where do I go? Where do we go here? Alright, so we have. Alright, I'm going to go to the Kings full schedule for the regular season. 2024-25. Just figuring out in terms of extra time losses, which occurred in shootouts, which did not. Just going to let's see. Let's look that up a little bit here. Just want to make sure because I like to put records in terms of wins, regulation, OT, and shootout losses. So, with respect to that, yeah, there were two games lost in overtime. So yeah, it's okay. 2-1, 2-0. Very impressive. So Kings basically have not lost a game. Have lost only 1 game regulation, 5, and have earned 6 points over 5 games they've played, following last preseason. Devils 5-2-0 with their win over the Sens. So yes, they're gonna go to the Canucks 3-2 win in OT. JT Miller with a tweet from the Sports Center of the Canucks having put out having titled the tweet JT Thriller. Yes, Canucks finally won a non-preseason game following their loss of a conference semifinal to the others. But again, Canucks still have work to do. Kevin Lankinen gave him a chance. 26 saves and the 92.9 save percentage. forget how many shots Lanky stopped for the Preds last season. Yeah, Lankinen stopped all but 2 of 28 shots he faced. And, yeah, well, Sergei Bobrovsky stopped 30 of 33. So, overall, pretty close game, a lot of aspects. But, hey, playoff games are often close. And they're won by, a lot of them are won by inches. So, maybe this is good for the Canucks. Being a team that last season didn't just get into a Stanley Cup final, but won. So, yes. So, we're going to see what the other Canadian NHL teams are. So, yes, we have the Oilers having beaten the Preds 4-2. And, yeah, that's pretty much it for the games. So, yeah. Definitely looking forward to watching the other games. And, hard to believe it's now Friday, Eastern Standard Time. And there's only, well, there are a couple games on that feature Canadian NHL NBA teams. So we have the Jets hosting the Sharks at Canada Life Center, formerly Bell NPS Place. So it's 8 p.m. Broadcast starts, I believe, on one of the TSN channels. And we have the Raptors hosting the Brooklyn Nets with the broadcast start time starting a little bit earlier on TSN. I'm not sure which TSN channel it's going to be. 7:30 Eastern Daylight Time. So definitely looking forward to watching the Raptors and watching the Winnipeg Jets if I can. And yeah, I'm going to say end off this video. So if you like the video, do encourage you to click the like button. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please feel free to do so. Subscribing is free and it really helps with getting word about these videos that I put out, whether short or long ones, out to the wider YouTube community. And if you want more time notifications of videos that I put out, whether short or long ones, I do try to put out these videos multiple times a week. And I'm going to get on with the rest of my Friday EDT and see how the rest of it goes.